Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this video is just going to be a continuation of our last video. It's going to be part 2 of the question and answer series on how to build wealth through real estate investing. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. If you're not following us on social media, make sure you do so now. And
smash that like button.
Yeah, smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, smash it all. And all right, so let's get into this video. Okay, so the first question is, oh man, I cropped her name out. Sorry, I don't know. I can't see your name on my screenshot. But so this question reads: are you guys in charge of your rental maintenance? For example, plumbing issues. So this question is around like property management.
Yes, we do manage our properties ourselves, but what we've been able to do is create a network of individuals who help us with the actual tasks. I am not a plumber. I don't have the license to be a plumber, so I do not fix plumbing issues. I am not an electrician, so I do not fix electrical issues. But I know how to get hold of electricians and plumbers. So whenever requests for those services come in, I take those calls and I forward them to the people who can actually do the job. That's how we do it.
Okay. So this question, that question, by the way, was from Ololade Olowale. All right, so this question is from Super Diamond GH. She says, I don't know if it's a girl, but they say, I'm looking to buy a condo in the near future, but the only sources I've been using are apps and websites, and the properties I'd actually be interested in are super expensive. Are there any alternatives I can look into to getting better pricing and better quality condos? I feel like I'm doing something wrong. By the way, I live in New York, for added context. P.S. I love your videos. Thank you.
I'm gonna give you one of my hacks that I use in finding property sometimes, and it might sound crazy, but I found Facebook to be very useful, Facebook Marketplace to be precise, and unfortunately Facebook is not paying me to say this, it's just what I use. If you go on Facebook Marketplace, you might be able to find people who are looking to sell their properties themselves without the agents and all the intermediary and all the added costs that go with, you know, listing it on the multiple listing service, which puts you everywhere and all the websites and apps that you're probably looking at. So I've had some success there. So that might be one place you might want to look at as well. Disclaimer, I am not very familiar with the New York market, so I don't know if those opportunities are there, but from my experience here in Texas, you can definitely find some deals there.
Okay, this is a good question. This question is from Mabel Alamu. She asks, it sounds like you guys got home loans for your properties.
Yes.
At least that's what I understand for this video.
Yes.
Does multiple home loans affect your credit negatively? And is there a point where banks/private lenders are reluctant to loan money?
No. This is the way it works. I like to describe it as, and I know what you're referring to is on your debt to income ratio, right? So the way that works, if you're not familiar, is the bank assesses all your obligations in a month and looks at all your income in the same month to assess what is the ratio between your debt and your obligations to your income. Now, if I take on a new obligation, for example, in the past video of $530 a month, but then I add to the income column $960 a month. What that actually does is it shifts my debt to income to more positive income, and even though the debt increased, the income increased by a higher amount, so my debt to income ratio actually reduces. So the answer I'm trying to get at is no, it does not negatively affect your credit. What it does in the short term is, because you know, the credit bureaus look at if you've applied for a loan recently, if somebody pulled a hard look at your credit, those are very short-term effects. So yes, it does dip in the 1 to 2 months after you close, but then it comes right back to where it was. And if you keep paying your loan, your new obligation, you know, on time consecutively, then you actually have an increase in your credit score. So as long as you keep making investments that keep making money, the bank will want to keep lending you money.
Cool. This is from Dunson Junes. She says, hi, how old were you both when you got into your first investment property?
26. Just before we turned 20, just before I turned 27.
Yeah, so I'm 25 forever, so I was 25.
Oh man.
But I was 25, I guess.
Yeah, you were 25 at the time.
Okay, next question. For flipping houses, how long, this is from the same person, how long do renovations take for flipping homes?
It depends on how much you're willing to pay for the amount of people to do the work. I would say typically plan for 3 months.
Yeah, the one we did took
2 months.
2 months. And that was a
big one.
Yeah, everything was redone basically. Yeah. Hey Tawny, what would be your number one advice for an aspiring first-time homeowner? This is from damsxo_.
This is a really interesting question because I'm not sure what information they're looking for. But for somebody who is planning to buy a first-time home, maybe you might want to, I'm just assuming here, you might want to ask yourself, do I want to turn this into a rental in the future? As in, do I not plan on living here for a long time and do not plan on selling afterwards? Or is this going to be my dream home and I want to live here forever? Because the decisions you make based on those two goals would dictate what you buy. Obviously, you wouldn't go for the most luxurious and the highest end house if you're planning on renting it out shortly afterwards, as you would if you plan on living there forever. So I would say just know what you plan on doing with that property. What are your long-term goals for that house you're looking to buy?
Okay. This question is from Wenjuku K. Would you recommend to buy a house to live in it or a fixer-upper and rent it, I'm guessing, or turn it into a rental?
Those are two different things. I'm not sure.
So would you rather buy a house and live in it or buy a fixer-upper and rent it out, turn it into a rental property? We're just gonna assume that you mean like buy a house and then rent it out later. Like be buying homes, live in it a little while, rent it out, move on, live in it a little while, rent it out. Or buy a fixer-upper, fix it up and rent it out. And go from there.
Let's go with that assumption.
Assume that's what you mean, because the question is kind of hard to understand.
As far as the velocity of money, it makes more sense to do live in and then rent out, because number one, the down payments are lower when you live in it, if you live in it for the right amount of time, which I believe is a year. Then because of that, your skin in the game is less. So you can move on to the next one, get someone to take over that obligation and keep doing that. That works perfectly. With the fixer-uppers, what you're getting is massive equity in the house for little cash outlay. I would say as far as like time, it's quicker to do the fixer-uppers because you can do multiple a year, as opposed to you having to buy a house, live in it for the right amount of time, and then move out, get somebody in there, and you can only do that at most once a year, where you can probably flip, as many houses as you can, get to in a year. So it depends on, is your goal to have the least amount of cash outlay and, just build slowly? Or is your goal to have the fastest route to whatever your real estate goal is? So I've just given you the two pros of each strategy, and I'm going to let you make the decision on that.
All right, so this next question is from IOKP, and she asked, what is it like being a landlord during COVID?
It's awesome. No, it's not. That's a really interesting question, because one of the things that I hold as a brand for our real estate business is to make sure we do not look at our tenants as numbers or like cash machines. We actually look at them as individuals. So I have tried to be very understanding with a lot of our tenants who have had hits to their incomes as a result of the economic recession that was caused by COVID, you know, being very flexible with them, listening to the gripes and issues they have, and, you know, affording them the opportunity to make up payments that were missed or come up with payment plans and things like that. So it's been challenging. It's been difficult sometimes, but is it still worth it? Yes.
All right, awesome. Oh crap, I forgot to look for the next question. Okay, how different is, this is from Onye's Lifestyle. This is from Onyeka. She says, how different is it, is the process of purchasing an investment property versus just purchasing a home? No different.
It's just your down payment is probably going to be higher, but it's just the same way as buying a home. So if you bought a house before, the process is exactly the same.
All right. Next question is from, who is Caro? Can we invest in real estate in Houston if we live in California?
Of course, you can invest in real estate anywhere you want, all over the world. Nothing stops you from doing that. Now, the strategy is a little bit different, and that's a whole different story, but your answer is absolutely yes.
Okay, the next question is from Amarachi J. Is buying land, irrespective of location, a good idea?
That's a really interesting one because it depends on what you're trying to do with the land. Is your intent to flip the land and quote, which is a strategy where people buy land in the path of progress and have it appreciate over a period of time and then sell that land for a profit, where all you have to do is probably, you know, have somebody go there and cut the grass once a month? Or is your strategy, which some people do, is buy a massive tract of land and fill it with wildlife and lease that land out to people to hunt, camp, do all what kind of activities they want to do with the land? That's another strategy where you don't really care and it's just, you know, a place where people can be out in the wilderness. And that one you don't have to do any work on except secure the premises, which you control. I would say it depends on what you're trying to achieve. So the strategy is dependent on what your goal is.
Okay, this next question and then these next couple questions, I think we're kind of running late, so let's do like rapid fire questions. Advice for a 20-year-old looking to invest. What practice steps do I need to make for moving forward? Do I need to take moving forward?
Make sure you live below your means and save up as much as you can and build up that nest egg for down payment on your first property. That's what I'll say. And make sure you pay all your bills on time. Keep your credit score as high as possible. Yeah. You're on the right track.
Would you advise a non-resident to invest in Houston real estate?
Why not? Of course, Houston's a grown city.
Austin's really good too. Oh, that question was from Moalea. This next question is also from her. What is the average rental yield across the different neighborhoods you've invested?
This is interesting. I would say on average, I'm going to use a return on cash invested. We have been able to average probably somewhere between 30 and 40% return. And what that means is for every dollar we've invested into real estate, we get about 30 to 40 cents back every year. So that put things in context.
Yeah. So it's like $1.40 we get back.
Yeah.
Okay. This is another kind of long question from the same person. Can you please walk us through the process from research to closure? Real quick. Okay, we'll do another video. Video on that. That's a long thing. Taxes. This is from Toyo. Taxes. Do you handle them yourself or do you have an accountant?
No, we do not handle taxes ourselves. And yes, we have a CPA that helps us with our taxes.
And who advised us to get a CPA to help us with our taxes this last time around? Thank you. Please, y'all, if your taxes are kind of complicated, definitely get a professional. Don't think that you can do everything yourself, because you will be missing out on a lot of money. How are properties doing post-COVID?
We're post-COVID? I didn't know that.
That's from Omalicha.
They're doing good. I think right now we're averaging probably about 90% collection rate. So it's going well, as good as it can get. Understand that people are going through difficulty right now, so things are a little bit challenged, but I would say 90% is still a success.
Yeah. All right, next question real quick. Other than NACA, do you know any other special loans offered?
Oh yeah, just regular hard money, private money, conventional financing through a bank. Those are the loans we've dealt with, so I'm not familiar with any special type of loans.
This is from Inki. What are the options with the most return? Which are the most cost effective?
From my experience, buying lower middle class homes have proven to provide the most cash flow. And that's kind of where we've had the most success. In doing that, you're getting the best bang for your buck.
A lot of these questions are like asking about a specific amount of money. And again, it's a lot of times it's like a percentage, right? So this question is from Mariade. She asks, what estimated range would you recommend someone to save up when thinking about buying? Depends on what area you live in.
What your budget is,
yeah.
The cost of the house you're trying to buy.
But in general, 20%.
Yep.
Yeah, so do research and figure out how much homes are going for around your area or the area that you're interested in investing in, and just estimate about 20%. But also probably a little bit more than 20% because you want to account for like closing costs,
yes,
and
ma'am,
tax and all that other stuff. So are all your properties in Houston?
Yes.
Is investing in REIT a more affordable and better option for someone looking to start a bond?
Yeah, of course. I would do that anytime.
What's REIT again?
Real Estate Investment Trust.
Oh,
REITs.
yeah. Okay.
Even though we invest in physical real estate, we still invest in REITs.
Yeah.
It's just,
yeah,
something good to have.
It's a good question. Okay. I think that's it. Let's wrap this up. All right, guys, so that's gonna be it for this video. I think we answered most of the questions, at least covered most of the topics that I saw in the comment section. So thank y'all so much for leaving those questions. If we didn't answer any of your questions, or if you have more questions, please make sure you leave them down in the description box. I might do another like question and answer story on my Instagram, so you can leave them there as well. That one is a little bit easier to like shift through. So again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all the support and all the encouragement that we've been getting in all these videos. Yeah, just continue to like and comment if you like content like this, so that we can continue to be motivated.
Yes, ma'am.
To produce these content. So
yes.
Again, if you're not following us, I'll link his Instagram handle down below, as well as mine. I'm Twani AV everywhere. His real estate handle is IBK Realty. And I'll leave those in the description box as well. I think that's all I need to say. So,
gang.
Bye, guys.
It's a great video, guys. So while she's looking to find questions that you asked, I am going to recite a small poem that I wrote. Real estate, how I love real estate. You take me so high and stop me from the lows. You make me feel wide and shield me from the blows. I'm looking for a word that rhymes with orange.
Are you normal?
Does porridge rhyme with orange? I think so. Do you? Thank you. Have you found your questions yet?
What was that?
It's my poem.